When you first make a record, it's pretty impossible to tell if it's good or not, or even what it is, or have any idea about it at all. But after a few months, away from the studio and, going back and listening to it and playing the songs, it's pretty easy to tell whether or not it's good or whether or not it's, something that we can be proud of, and we definitely feel proud of it.
Badmotorfinger is Soundgarden's third studio album. It was recorded in the spring of 1991 and would go on to be released in October later that year. The album was recorded at Studio D at Bear Creek Studios in Seattle, Washington, and the band worked with producer Terry Date, who they had worked with on their previous album, Louder Than Love. Cornell explained that the band had a good relationship with him and did not want to go through the pressure of trying to find a new producer.
I always think of our albums more in terms of albums as opposed to like picking out songs. It always seems like what we shoot for is an hour of music as opposed to a couple of lead tracks and then a B-side,
Kind of thing you just put on and listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's 12 singles on one disc.
It's a greatest hits album all in one.
It's the heavy metal white album.
Now, it's definitely a powerful album. I mean, you guys play with a lot of emotion.
Badmotorfinger was Soundgarden's first album with new bassist Ben Shepherd. He had joined the band back in April of 1990, replacing the previous bassist, Jason Everman, of course, who had a brief stint in Nirvana as a guitar player, and only had a brief stint in Soundgarden as well. So it is probably more fair to say that Shepherd was actually a replacement for the original Soundgarden bassist, and that was Hiro Yamamoto. He had played on the first two Soundgarden records and the two EPs that came before that. So Hiro Yamamoto on bass, a huge part of early Soundgarden. Shepherd had a big effect on the band, with Cornell stating that he brought a fresh and creative approach to the recording sessions, and that his knowledge of music and writing skills helped to redefine the band. Guitarist Kim Thiel said that Shepherd's contributions helped make the album faster and weirder.
And for those people that missed the show then, you guys have a new member of the band.
Yeah, Ben Shepherd, the bass player.
And tell us a little bit about that and how that came about. For those that missed that show.
We pretty much hired him because he was 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, no, people don't harass us as much with that guy.
So it was kind of the fear factor that you put him in there.
Yeah, he's the type of person who would like kick your ass and then read you poetry afterwards.
Now he played on the new album, right?
Yeah, he wrote on the new album too.
So did things seem a lot different having a new member contributing to a band?
It always probably should, unless it's like a situation where you're just hiring a guy just to do what you tell him to do. But we definitely wanted somebody to contribute, because we've always been used to having like 4 members contributing musically to what we're doing. We're just used to it. We like it. It's the way it should be.
Badmotorfinger is 12 tracks of badass hard rock alternative metal, featuring the big 3 singles from the album, Rusty Cage, Outshined, and Jesus Christ Pose. And standing right alongside those tracks, you've got the awesome rockers Somewhere, Searching with My Good Eye Closed, and Room 1,000 Years Wide. And don't forget about the 2 shorter tracks on the album either, Face Pollution and the awesome Drawing Flies. Badmotorfinger peaked at number 39 on the Billboard 200 album chart. That was around 4 months after release in February of '92. Remembering it was competing with other massive albums that had come out at the same time, such as Nirvana's Nevermind, Pearl Jam's 10, Metallica's Black, the Red Hot Chili Peppers' Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic. Just a ton of massive albums all coming out at the exact same time there in '91. But the album did go on to do well for the band sales-wise, being certified double platinum by 1996, selling 2 million copies worldwide. 3 singles were released from Badmotorfinger, Outshined, Rusty Cage, and Jesus Christ Pose, with the latter stirring up quite a bit of controversy at the time. Many listeners were outraged by Jesus Christ Pose and its accompanying music video, which was removed from MTV's playlist. Many had perceived the band to be anti-Christian, and there were rumors that the band had even received death threats while on tour in the UK in support of the album. Here, Chris Cornell and Kim Thayil elaborate on the meaning of Jesus Christ Pose.
The whole idea behind the song initially was me personally being irritated by the exploitation of the Christ Pose persecuted deity figure. You know, you see it in rock magazines and fashion magazines where you see rock stars and models like assuming that pose, and how it was kind of irritating, and basically I'm sort of exploiting it to show that it's irritating to exploit it in the video. It's probably one of the most widely seen images in the Western world, and we just kind of are making it a little bit more wider.
How did you mean for the song to be perceived?
Well, there's enough ambiguity in it that it allows for that kind of misinterpretation or other various interpretations. It's not mocking Jesus, though. It's not mocking Jesus. Why would we want to mock Jesus? You got a Christian church to do that for you. They can mock Jesus. This had nothing to do with that. It was actually, the whole song was about people who exploit the crucifixion and Jesus' name and image for their own benefit.
Soundgarden used alternative tunings and odd time signatures on several of the album's songs. On Rusty Cage, Holy Water, and Searching with My Good Eye Closed, the bottom E string is tuned down to B. And on Mind Riot, every string is tuned to one of several E's. In September of 2021, on the 30th anniversary of Badmotorfinger, Kim Thayil looked back on some of the songs from the album. If you listen to Badmotorfinger, you might notice there are so many distinct feels across the record, different interpretations of the heavy, dark, and psychedelic things we liked in music. I really like Room 1,000 Years Wide because it's solid, heavy, repetitive, and insistent. I like the psychedelic components of Searching with My Good Eye Closed. I'm really drawn to that. And out of the singles, I like Jesus Christ Pose the most because of its manicness. Rusty Cage is probably one of the coolest arrangements we've ever done. I'm so proud of Chris for writing that one. That is the most risky and courageous arrangement. It goes from one place to another hooky guitar riff that isn't established in the verse or chorus. It's brilliant. I love how it switches groove. And that song, Rusty Cage, is awesome how it breaks off into two parts like that. Anyone who knows the song will know what I'm talking about. Cornell said that he tried not to get too specific with his lyrics, and he was more interested in letting ambiguity create colorful images. Looking at some of the lyrics, Cornell said that Outshined is about going from periods of extreme self-confidence to plummeting in the opposite direction. Holy Water was written about people who force their beliefs onto others. Thayil wrote the lyrics for Room 1,000 Years Wide and said that the song is about experience in general, while New Damage subtly criticizes the right-wing government of the United States. The cover art for Badmotorfinger features a jagged cyclone-like design, and in the center of that design is a triangle with the album's title containing a spark plug. Thayil said that the album's title, Badmotorfinger, was a joke on the Montrose song Bad Motor Scooter. And talking about the title, he said, "It was sort of off the top of my head. I simply like it because it was colorful. It was kinda aggressive too. It conjures up a lot of different kinds of images. We liked the ambiguity in it, the way it sounded, and the way it looked." In 2016, for its 25th anniversary, Badmotorfinger was given a reissue in 2 deluxe versions. The deluxe edition was a 2 CD package featuring the remastered album along with studio outtakes and live tracks. And then you had the Super Deluxe Edition, which was a 7-disc package which contained a ton of Soundgarden goodies in there, including DVDs, Blu-rays, and a whole lot more. And an interesting fact about that 25th anniversary reissue that some people might not know about is that it was created using a backup digital audio tape safety copy. Now, for these reissues, you would always use the original master tape, right? However, the Badmotorfinger master tape had been destroyed in that 2008 Universal Studios fire, if you can remember that one. A whole ton of music was lost and destroyed in that fire. So, since they couldn't use the original master tape, for these reissues, they had to use a backup digital audio tape safety copy, and that's what they did. Just a little bit of extra information for you there. So, Badmotorfinger, this one was huge for Soundgarden. It was massive. It was really their breakthrough album. The band had previously made 2 records, Ultra Mega OK and Louder Than Love, but this is the one that really broke through. And it is a very awesome album. So many good songs on here. So many cool songs. It's hard out. It's aggressive rock. Alternative rock, grunge, metal, whatever you want to call it. And as I say, so many huge albums came out at this exact same time that Badmotorfinger did. The Nirvanas, the Pearl Jams, the Metallicas, and more. So it was a very competitive time in that genre of music, and what an awesome time to be a music fan, right? Having all those cool albums come out. But this album, a very cool album. Right off the top, you've got Rusty Cage and Outshined, 2 amazing Soundgarden songs. Getting Soundgarden that radio airplay and really getting their name out there to the masses. And you've got that chunk there right in the middle of the album with some really amazing Soundgarden songs. You got Somewhere, Searching With My Good Eye Closed, and Room 1,000 Years Wide. Really cool songs. For me, at least, I really love those tracks. With track number 7 and Searching With My Good Eye Closed with that really interesting intro on it. People who know the song will know what I mean. And then at the end of the album too, 3 cool songs there as well to close the album out. With that short song, Drawing Flies, hard out and aggressive. Very good track as well with Holy Water. Cornell getting very melodic here on a lot of these tracks on Badmotorfinger. Singing on the chorus there, Holy Water is Rusting Me. And then the final track on the album, which also has a really cool chorus to it, that is New Damage. With Cornell singing, The Wreck is Going Down, Get Out Before You Drown. It's really awesome. So this album really boosted Soundgarden up the ranks just so much, led on to their next smash hit album, of course, Super Unknown. But there was just so much good stuff on this album. Really good quality songs here, hard out tunes. All the deep cuts are cool too, really worth checking out every track from this album. Every song does have something to offer, no doubt about that. Just awesome and a huge stepping stone for Soundgarden. This one rocks hard. It's Badmotorfinger. When the forest burns along the road, like God's eyes in my headlights, and when the dogs are looking for their bones, and it's raining ice picks and you're still shown, I'm gonna break my rusty cage around.